Welcome back, ghouls and gals. Today we are talking about more accessible horror. I've done a couple of lists now about Tubi and movies on Tubi for free, but today we are going to talk about 5 great horror movies on PLUTO for free. Now, I will say PLUTO does not have the best selection of horror, so the movies that I'm finding here and recommending, I think are worth your time, and I'm actually surprised a few of these are free on PLUTO. This is not sponsored. Once again, I am just very much passionate about accessible horror and you guys being able to watch whatever I recommend here. So if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give this a thumbs up, subscribe for more. Check out all of my links down below if you would like to see any more of me or support the channel any further. I have a whole list of horror films on Plex that I'm also working on. And closer to the end of the month, we're going to be talking about horror movies on Shudder. So lots of great recommendations in the month of April. So let's begin at number 5 with a movie that I feel like this is a really great example of we don't yuck anybody's yum around here, because while I don't like time loop films whatsoever, there are a lot of people who do like time loop films, and if I'm going to recommend one of them, it's going to be Triangle. When Jess sets sail on a yacht with a group of friends, she can't shake the feeling that something is wrong. Now, I'm going to leave some coordinates on the screen right now, because if you search these coordinates into Google Maps, going back to June 2008, you'll be able to see the ship they were filming on at Southport Spit in Southport, Queensland, Australia. Search that into Google Earth's history. The coordinates I shared, I will also leave it linked down below or pinned in the comment. You'll be able to go back in time and see the set and the ship they were filming Triangle on, which I think is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool piece of horror history. But moving on to number 4, Dead Ringers from 1988. Twin gynecologists take full advantage that no one can tell them apart until their relationship begins to deteriorate over a woman. And I wouldn't say this is a traditional horror, but it is Cronenberg, and I feel like he always finds a way to add horror elements into whatever he does. And if you by chance have not seen the television show for Dead Ringers, starring Rachel Weisz in 2 roles. Oh my god, she's so hot. It was such a great show, and she does the duality of both characters such justice. Let's talk about The Strangers Prey at Night from 2018. A family of 4 staying at a secluded mobile home park are stalked and hunted by 3 masked maniacs. I have grown to like this film. I've really grown to enjoy this a lot more over time, which makes me less optimistic for what we have coming with The Strangers Chapter 2 and Chapter 3. This one does star Lewis Pullman, and I'm a big fan. He looks just like his father. It's just like if Bill Pullman took his face and was like, here son, take my face. But anyway, something really crazy about this film, The Strangers Prey at Night. It was released in 2018, but it was actually announced 10 years earlier in 2009, hot off the trails of The Strangers. I don't know, who knows? I feel like the timing for things is always for a reason. Who knows what we would have gotten if it was released sooner. I'm happy with the final product. I feel like we can all agree that that total eclipse of the heart pool scene is so incredible. But moving on to a film we just rewatched, and on my 3rd rewatch, it is still just as frightening to me as the first time. Midsommar from 2019. A group of friends travel to Sweden to study as anthropologists a summer festival that is held every 90 years in the remote hometown of one of them. But what begins as a dream vacation in a place where the sun never sets gradually begins to turn into a dark nightmare as the mysterious inhabitants invite them to participate in their disturbing festival activities. And something I actually just discovered is the Blu-ray for this, because we went back and watched our physical media copy. The Blu-ray has a documentary, a little featurette, if you will, behind the scenes. Ari Aster's brother made 3 shorts for all 3 of his films, and they are all featured on the physical media copies. I believe just the Blu-rays possibly. However, this one is called Let the Festivities Begin, and someone uploaded it to YouTube, so I'm going to leave it linked down below with the original uploader, so that if you guys want to watch it and don't have the physical media, you'll be able to watch the like behind the scenes little featurette of Midsommar. And then moving on to number 1, and definitely more of a horror comedy. I love this film, Little Monsters from 2019. A washed up musician teams up with a teacher and kids personality to protect young children from a sudden outbreak of zombies. How horrific. If you've seen this film, you know that they use Taylor Swift's Shake It Off as just to kind of like keep the kids from knowing what's going on. Like, she's always singing the little song to the kids, and Lupita Nyong'o herself actually reached out to Taylor Swift to clear the rights for this song for this specific movie. She explained to her the plot and how special it would be for the kids to have something to distract them, but it'd also be really sweet and have a good message to just shake it off, and it just very good vibes. So Lupita did the God's work there to get Taylor to sign off on that, because girl, you can't get 5 seconds of a Taylor Swift song played on YouTube without it being blocked. Anyways, that's going to be it for this list. I will keep scouring Pluto for more horror movie recommendations. Let me know if you enjoy this kind of content. Also, let me know if you've seen any of these films. I know they are like pretty constantly recommended, and I always try to recommend films that aren't always talked about. But once again, I am just a big advocate for accessible horror, so go ahead and check these ones out on Pluto if you guys have it. It's a free app. Everything was free for us to watch. So I will see you in my next video, which will be part 15 of our weird, wild, random, under-recommended, underrated horror movies that no one is talking about. I cannot believe we are already at 150 movies recommended in that list. There's always a letterboxd list I've created for something, so follow me over there, and I will see you guys very soon. Sayonara, spooky fam.
Go away! We have kids out here! Oh my god, I don't give a shit.